On this episode of Negative Modifier, we'll be playing the game Deltagreen. Deltagreen is a mature tabletop RPG that tackles various dark and unsettling themes and topics that some listeners may find traumatizing, harmful, or generally uncomfortable. Listener discretion is advised. All right, so the next morning, you make your way back to the Emerald Estates, where you are met at the front gate by a security guard who then ushers you into the more business aspects of the Emerald Estates. Gone is kind of the, maybe not glitz, but kind of the faux grandeur the place projects. It's a lot of very familiar corporate walls, lots of gray and beige paint, fluorescent light bulbs, and all that stuff. Obviously, this place puts an emphasis on kind of keeping its nice face to the public, and its rest of it is got to save that money where you can type of thing. As a reminder, the Emerald Estates are one part town, one part actual set of facilities that you live in. It's a bunch of towers, it's condos and stuff like that. You all got some download on this as part of the information. You also have been here once. You kind of seen how this works. It does have the more secure facility where Edward Ackerman was being stored. As you're ushered into her office, Elena Gallardo looks at you and just lets out a long sigh and gestures at you to take some seats. You were here for less than half a goddamn hour, and then an apartment blew up.
I understand your frustration, but I just wanted to give you a heads up that you're being very victim blamey here, and it's not your fault. You didn't know that we were the victims of a random attack that took place on your facilities on your watch. So I'm going to give you the benefit of the doubt and say that, hey, this isn't your responsibility. This isn't the direct result of your actions. And that explosion was not the direct result of our actions. So thank you for taking care of public relations. We really appreciate it.
Oh, I didn't do anything. I've just learned the best way of dealing with any of this weird stuff involving gestures wildly at you. Your whole thing is bad stuff just seems to go away. We don't even have gas running to the apartments for this exact reason. Old people are forgetful with some frequency. We don't do that specifically for that reason. But if you look up Emerald Estates gas lines, you can find multiple diagrams and maps showing how there's a junction right below that goddamn apartment. Do you get how insane that is?
Sounds like there's a junction below that apartment.
Apparently, your, I guess, boss, the angry lady, gave me a call and informed me that I am in no way, shape, or form to impede on your investigation. I guess you're ATF now, and that's who handles explosions like this, apparently. She kind of steadies herself, inhales, exhales. I don't understand or want to understand what your whole situation is. I have informed the local PD and management and security that we were going to have some people here looking into the incident. I have reassured numerous families that this was a freak accident and they should in no way, shape, or form be concerned about their loved ones that live here. I understand that there's very little I can do to stop you from doing whatever the hell it is you're about to do. All I ask is that you be discreet about it. I am not going to go out of my way to help you in any way. I am also not going to in any way impede your investigation. What I don't need is a bunch of sons and daughters of New York lawyers going on to their kids about how there are strange people searching their rooms and stealing their valuables. My nurses and cleaning staff and other staff members get accused of that enough as it is. All I ask is that you do not make my job harder than it already is given everything that's happened. I've instructed my staff to work with you to an extent. I assume you are capable of obtaining warrants and other legal information you might need to gain access to things like security systems.
Yeah. Yeah, sure.
Yeah.
I am more than happy to instruct my staff that I have been shown this warrant already and that they are to help you.
Great. That would be ideal.
That is the end of the help I am capable or willing to offer.
Okay, but I have a couple more questions. So that's real quick. Have you already started cleaning up the scene?
We were asked to not touch it.
Perfect.
I also don't know if you know a lot about explosion cleanup. There's not a lot of companies that specialize in it.
Perfect. I just wanted to make sure that everything I needed was still at the scenario, and I did not need to go dumpster diving.
Your boss was very clear that we were to leave the site as untouched as possible.
Just wanted to confirm. Thank you. Oh, also, security footage. What type of security footage do we have around the area? Let's say a mile block with the house in the epicenter. Could you get me those? Can you get me those tapes?
Yes, it will take some time to collect all of that.
Perfect. Thank you so much. I'll go ahead and collect it when we're done here. Thanks so much. I head out of the meeting.
Yeah, I'm just going to follow suit.
Ditto.
As you're leaving, you see her kind of pull open her desk, pull out a very crumpled pack of cigarettes and kind of shake one out into her mouth and start fumbling with something to light it. As you're leaving, please close the door behind you as you leave.
Fucking kills, and I close the door.
Yep, sounds good.
Is everyone here familiar with weapons companies by chance? I'm hoping that I will be able to find some fragment of those explosives that will have brand, maybe, that we can at least have a starting point. Because other than the fact that wow, there is actually a specific gas line underneath, I still have nothing that kind of helps out with this.
I may know a person or two that can give me some information on explosives, but that's assuming we find something. But yeah, I've got some resources. We'll see. I mean, depends on what we find.
Damn it. You know what I remembered? I forgot to ask if they moved any of the corpses. Or if there's just going to be bits and pieces of white sheets scattered around.
I mean, there's only one way to find out.
Well, all right. We can use these golf carts, right?
Yes, they won't go into the secure part of the facility, though.
They won't go into the secure part of the facility?
They're forgetting around the rest of it. Secure facility is kind of a little walled garden type of situation.
Okay.
There might be some staff ones you could get access to or maintenance or something, but the more general purpose ones. Again, the secure facility is not a prison, but it's not a secure area. It is very much closed off from the rest of the outside world. It's a very nice garden, but it's still a walled garden.
I completely understand. We don't want people without full cognition to be driving heavy machinery.
Yeah. Or deal with people driving golf carts around. It is a part of the facility for people that maybe react strangely, maybe don't react at all, maybe are not functional enough to, even if they registered what was going on, have a reaction. And also, not to besmirch the elderly, but that plus just elderly drivers in low speed but not super low speed vehicles tends to be a problem.
While we are outside, I just kind of want to take a quick look around.
I'm assuming you were kind of walking out of the back of house, for lack of a better phrase, towards the main part of the facility. Do you want to go to the secure area, or do you kind of want to go outside? What are you trying to do at this point?
Well, we're returning to the scene of the incident. I wanted to, as we were kind of heading our way to the secure area, I want to see if there's anybody that looks familiar. You have victims returning to the scene of the crime. I'm wondering whether or not there is anybody that looked suspicious who was keeping tabs on us.
I mean, there are security cameras littered across the space, or even trying to hide their presence. There are lots of elderly people very interested in the young people that are walking through the lobby and type like that situation. You have staff that are probably a tad wary of the situation. Like, you're not exactly going full on incognito right now, I guess. You talk to the director, you are coming from the back of the house, you do not work there, you're probably not in uniforms that match them working there. Okay, this is an assumption on my part, but you were given ATF kind of credentials and windbreakers and stuff. Are you wearing that, or are you just kind of doing streetwear at this point, or kind of street clothes?
That is a good question. I would have worn my ATF windbreaker on site. I mean, especially with us having a high profile, I guess that was just me as an independent journalist who's familiar with like private investigators and stuff to kind of just keep aware of my surroundings and see whether or not like, oh, I just caught this person again for like the third block in a row of me walking.
I mean, anything's possible. This place is also big enough that, like, across the entire confines of the facility, anything's possible, but also, like, you're a point of interest. You also are not familiar enough with the people here, the facility. Like, in total, this conversation and getting blown up, you've probably spent more time unconscious under rubble here than you have conscious.
Gotcha.
So I ask again, are you going to try and like pursue some leads? You're going to kind of check in on the house? Like, where are you going with this?
So personally, I kind of want to go check back on the house. I want to see if there's anything that could maybe point us in the direction of who rigged that. Because one, who the hell has access to that many grenades or just small explosives? And two, if there's any kind of fragments that they haven't cleaned up, I want to see whether or not we can identify at least the type of munitions that they ended up using and maybe kind of go from there. Does anyone have a better idea? I'm just kind of going with what comes up to mind first.
However you want to do this, you tell me what to do, I'm going to do it.
Yeah, I mean, if you want to take point on it, that's fine. I'll go either way. But like I said, I need to make a couple calls to get some specifics. I'm happy to do that. Kind of my thing.
Well, what kind of information do you need to make some calls?
Well, are we going to go look at the room or not kind of thing? Like, you said you were looking for fragments or whatever. Like, if we're going to do that, we do that. But
okay,
I need specifics if we're going to be doing that. If I'm going to be making phone calls, I need specifics.
Gotcha. Sorry, I thought you meant like something else. Let's go check out the rubble.
So it takes you a few minutes to get there. It's kind of going through, flashing some credentials, getting kind of buzzed into the secure area. And yeah, it's more or less as you remember it. You do draw some attention. You are obviously marked as ATF agents, and you're kind of making your way through. You remember the path well enough. It's also not exactly hard to navigate here. There's lots of markers all over the place and pathways and whatnot. And after a few minutes, you do arrive at what was once Edward Ackerman's house, or kind of his bungalow, separate living accommodations. And you're struck by a couple things. One, there is a police officer kind of standing guard on the remains of the house. Two, the building is more standing than you'd actually would have expected. Like, there are telltale signs of like an explosion definitely having gone off. Like, there are kind of holes in the walls and stuff like that. But this wasn't like a big kaboom. Most of the walls are still standing. There's scorch marks and stuff. Like, windows are busted out and there's kind of various holes all over the place. But like, it's not like the thing just went like geyser up and exploded from inside out type of thing. There's obvious damage, but anyone have military science?
Maybe.
No, I do not, fortunately.
Anyone have explosives?
Wait, I do have military science.
What's it at?
I also do.
40%.
Mine's at 60. I also have demolitions at 60.
So in your case, you are definitely smart enough to recognize the fact that this was an explosion designed to kill, not destroy. Grenades aren't the right choice to blow up a house. They're the right choice to clear a house, and no doubt the insides will reflect the fact that numerous grenades went off. But based on what you're seeing from the outside, this is about the right level of damage actually you would expect from what you kind of vaguely remember happening.
Yeah, I mean, this wasn't meant to destroy anything. It was just meant to kill anyone who showed up.
Wait, That's right. Gas lines was a misdirect. My bad. Can't believe I just got myself caught up in that. This was supposed to clear us out. And looking at the room now, what do we still see carnage and gore, or like what's the extent of the?
You're not inside, so you can't really kind of ascertain that you're out. This is what you're gauged from the outside type of thing. Like, and don't get me wrong, there are holes punched through where something kind of busted things up, but yeah, this was not a level the house explosion. This
Cool. So house is still standing. There's probably a couple holes here and there.
Yeah. And I will say, based off your background, this makes more sense why the quote ATF were called in. This is most definitely an ATF thing. Like, house explodes, tragic, but not necessarily ATF thing. This type of explosion happens. Okay, yeah, maybe the ATF should be involved.
Cool. So I would like to go back inside, but I am hesitant. I'm going to see if there's already an open window, or if there's already something that we can just kind of get ourselves into, or if the door is already kind of slightly ajar.
I mean, it's just covered with some police tape, and there was a kind of police officer now approaching you as you kind of came around the corner and started looking at the house.
Look, you tell me what you want opened, and I'll open it slowly, see if it's rigged.
I want to say the front door should be fine, seeing as how he busted it in. I don't think it's going to be re-triggered or there's going to be a secondary trigger. I'm pretty sure that was supposed to just clear us out and we're good. But there's just something, I don't know. Maybe it's the fact that I just had a near-death experience and just kind of woke up somewhere completely different that's giving me the heebie-jeebies. Do you personally think that the front door should be fine?
I think so. I mean, I'm going to be honest. I'm not sure that anything else would be rigged because that explosion was fairly extensive.
Yeah, so the cop kind of enters into hearing range at this point. Yeah, it's the damnedest thing. Lots of damage on the inside, but it's still standing for the most part.
ATF, thanks for the cliff notes, officer, but you can go ahead and kick rocks.
Now, I got some paperwork I have to have you sign out. We're still technically in charge of securing the scene. Have looks around. There's just 3 of you?
Yeah.
Are we expecting a larger graduating class? What's up?
Shrugs. Kind of hard to secure a crime scene with just 3 people, but you're the feds, not me.
Yeah, go ahead and get that paperwork prepared. We're going to go ahead and just start getting our work started. Thank you so much.
I mean, I can come back later if you're not going to post guards or anything like that. I assume you want to kind of maintain the sanctity of the crime scene and whatnot. I'm not here to step on any toes. I'm here just purely to kind of keep the place secure until you showed up. Not bad response time. Not as fast as we were expecting, but also, yeah.
I would say we would like to just do a preliminary search. We're a little bit of a head start. We're going to go ahead and just kind of get some things happening, and we'll kind of take it from there. What's your name, by chance?
I extends a hand, smiles. Dustin Rhodes.
Thank you. I look at his hand and just kind of look at him. Sorry, just personal preference. I don't like to shake germs.
Shrugs this. I get it. If you need me, kind of like extends a card, give me a call on this. If we're going to head out, just text me or something. I'll come back, keep an eye on things, keep the riffraff out. There is a little bit of pressure from kind of gestures around, I guess, the management company or whoever's behind this whole organization to begin deconstruction on this as soon as possible to kind of clear it up and move on from this. So once you're ready with it, and take as much time as you want, there is a request to kind of release the scene and allow it to get bulldozed and whatnot. Lots of people asking questions. As I guess that probably are trying to make sure the residents don't feel too concerned about things.
We'll try to get things moving as quick as we can.
Smiles at this. Appreciate it. Y'all been in Florida before?
Where are you going with this?
Oh, just simply asking because if you've never been in this part of Florida, Blancheville specifically, you might not be familiar with the local, let's call it, character.
I kind of perk up at this. Like, this is intriguing. Oh, okay. Cool. Any kind of local, I guess, a heads up or anything else of the sort would be a little helpful. What do you mean by character?
He gets real close, whispers in your ear.
I kind of take a step back, like, hold up. What are you doing?
The old people are the worst and commit most of the crimes.
Are you talking about the sick and enfeebled and the ones that don't have all of their mental faculties completely there?
Shakes his head. Nah, you're not understanding my meaning on this one. What do you know about Blancheville's demographics?
I understand that this is a retirement city.
Yeah, little over, I think last the number came through, a little over 53% of the total population here is, quote, retired. Now, a decent chunk of that population's just willing to kind of run out the clock and enjoy the time they have left. The other chunk of that population, though, is going through kind of a second phase of teenage behavior, I guess is maybe the right phrase of putting it. They get in the dumbest bar fights, the dumbest car crashes, and just overall are just absolute menaces to society with some frequency. You've never had to stifle a laugh as you deal with a 8 golf cart pileup.
Sure.
I only bring this up because like gestures off in the distance where there's like 4 old people like trying to be stealthy, but like obviously trying to eavesdrop, but are also way too far away to eavesdrop. Just saying, you've got some eyes on you, and it'll be an interesting set of eyes at best.
Duly noted. Thank you for just the local tips.
I guess it's also worth bringing up because you may not have gotten warned about this. Emerald Estates isn't the entirety of the town, but they're definitely the biggest thing in the town. They hold a little bit of, let's call it, sway on how things go locally.
Okay.
Kind of shrugs at this. Just saying, if you start making life too hard for them, they'll try and get someone to make life hard for you. We've seen them do it once or twice. Other retirement communities just suddenly had a whole slew of issues pop up and whatnot. But at the same time, wouldn't prove anything, but also that's just life in Blancheville, I suppose. Just understand that just because I'm guessing you have a certain amount of free reign, they don't want you here.
Gotcha.
Hell, part of why I'm giving you this whole spiel is because I was asked in no uncertain terms by the security chief here to make sure you were up on the situation. We've had some run-ins before with some out-of-towners that weren't aware of how, for better or worse, things function down here, and honestly, we'd like this to go away. Kind of gestures head at the buildings. Emerald Estates would like this to go away. I'm guessing it's more of this false and tragic accident type of category.
How long ago were these out-of-towners?
Kind of raises an eye. I'm not sure that'd be pertinent to what you're working on, but let's just say the edges of Blancheville can get a tad interesting real quick.
Okay. I
have gestures his head at the bungalow. Just a word of warning, the hinges for the door are not there anymore. So you got to kind of like mimes lifting up the entire door. You got to kind of lift the entire door at once and move it.
Thank you for the heads up on the door. I think I've had my fill of questions. Quick draw quantity. Are you good? You guys are good?
I'm good.
Yeah, I'm good.
All right, when you're done here, just shoot me a text or something like that. I'll come back and resume my post. Fire's already been through. They said it's not going to like collapse on you or anything. It's absolutely wild in there though too. So yeah, he kind of like wanders off to go do something.
Shall we?
It probably took him a couple tries, but I'm really glad he got his GED. Let's check out this house.
Yeah, so as you were warned, the door is not on its hinges, but it's easy enough to kind of lift and move out of the way type of thing. And inside is a little surreal. The outside of the house is pockmarked and kind of holed and stuff like that, and all the windows are broken, et cetera, et cetera. Inside is definitely where whatever happened most definitely happened. And there's more burn marks. There's just kind of stuff blown apart. Like the drywall for most of the walls has been cracked and ripped apart type of thing. Like you're seeing just kind of general chaos on the inside. There's not a wall or kind of hard surface that wasn't at least partially kind of ripped apart or exploded in some way, shape, or form. There are a variety of piles of kind of rubble and stuff like that throughout. There are kind of some remnants of furniture. it will take some time to kind of fully dig through and process. Do you have any approaches you're going to be doing while you're working through this place, or kind of looking around?
I'm not investigating myself, but I am looking to make sure like there are no more booby traps, explosives, and whatnot here.
I'm kind of also being very mindful, but I'm sticking behind Quick Draw because Quick Draw seems to be a little more aware of it. I'm just going to be trying to capture photos and get more information.
Sure. So you're going to try and do like a preliminary kind of like safety sweep of the house?
Yeah.
Yeah. Give me a search as you do this.
Oh boy. A 71 out of 23 fail.
Anyone else safety sweeping?
I was just going to ask if I could assist with the search. 73 out of 28% failure.
That is a 27% success.
Yes, there's a whole lot of nothing left in the house, really. And I'm remembering back, it was lots of piles of trash and stuff like that. Like, nothing was really here to begin with. But Agent Query does find a few kind of lodged in walls and other kind of hiding spots, a few unexploded grenades. So you're kind of looking around, you find 7 either grenades that appear to have misfired or the pin didn't fully pull on them or something like that. They're just kind of there.
Clarification. So it doesn't look like it had any kind of like fire damage or anything else like that. They just kind of look like whole munitions.
I mean, the grenades are unexploded.
Okay. So but they're kind of like, they look like they've experienced like heat, whatever have you.
Yeah. Yes, let's talk about grenades real quick. They come in a variety of flavors, and they're very kind of purpose specific. Most grenades aren't high heat. They're about throwing lots of stuff around a room, killing people. Calling them concussive's the wrong phrase, but like, they're not designed to blow stuff up. They're designed to kind of cause havoc and clear for you the same way a shotgun might, but in a more kind of...
It's scattershot.
Exactly, yeah.
It blows up, fragments fly everywhere. The fragments are basically what's the munitions. If it's a specialty grenade, there's going to be some other shit like that. Or whatever.
Yeah, there's still an explosion, but the explosion is short-lived and not really powerful enough to like level a building or something. Again, they're more for kind of getting at entrenched locations or kind of awkward to get to things.
So, quick draw. I'm going to imagine you could probably tell whether or not a grenade is a dud or if it's still active. You seem like you have that vibe.
Sure.
So with that being said, I want to check out these grenades, but I don't want to touch them. Do you mind? See whether or not there's any kind of maker's mark, or if you can give me any kind of information about these grenades.
Yeah, I'll look them over.
And I'm going to snap some photos just to reference them.
Yeah, so the grenades you're finding are your stereotypical kind of generic hand grenades. They're brownish green paint with some kind of lighter color, not quite orange, not quite mustard kind of markings on them. Most of them are pretty faded. There's a couple in languages you don't understand. A couple of them say U.S. military. They appear to be kind of a more generic kind of pineapple design for the most part, or the kind of more spherical kind of baseball looking ones. Some of them are really old looking, which maybe explains why they didn't go off. And all the ones that didn't go off, they either have the wick part of it didn't fully deploy or the pin just didn't pull on them. Kind of looking at this, realize they all are hooked up kind of like a tripwire or pull tab type of system that just didn't work for everything as best you can tell.
Oh, yeah, I'll point it out.
Yeah.
Doesn't look like he was supplied by anyone in particular. Kind of looks like it was, a gathered collection over time.
Okay. Would I be able to use either my history or military science to kind of maybe make a guesstimate as to what age the grenades look like?
Sure. You could also do some research with some photos and stuff like that. Like, different eras of war have very specific looking equipment to them for the most part type of thing. Like the grenades of Vietnam look very different from the grenades of today type of thing. It'll just take some time.
Cool. I think I will save that investigation for later. If anything, the moment that we walked into the space, Query already had her gloves on. I want to start looking around for any kind of undamaged. If there's anything that like still seems as if it's legible or anything else like that, that could just be around in terms of like finding anything more about Edward Ackerman?
Sure.
Actually, are we in the room at the moment? Like where Edward Ackerman's body was? Supposed body, alleged body, the corpse, the dust corpse.
I mean, there's not much of the house delineating separate rooms from each other, but yeah, you can be. Like, I was just kind of giving you a general sweep of the house if you want to kind of look for grenades.
Okay.
Or kind of other booby traps. But yeah, you feel pretty confident you are maybe not safe because this place did kind of blow up some on you, and who knows what madness exists type in the mind that did that. But like, you're not finding any more booby traps, and there's not a lot of wall left for there to be booby traps in.
Cool. I would like to put on like a mask, and then I would like to go to the room where we first encountered the corpse. I want to see whether or not there's any kind of evidence of the corpse, if the corpse left any kind of dust behind, if it left any kind of anything behind.
All right. What are you other two doing?
I am just kind of walking around, not searching through anything because I'm stupid.
Sure.
I'm like looking out the window occasionally, making sure like no one weird is watching us. Security stuff.
Makes sense.
I'm gonna look around the room, but I'm not touching anything. So I'm doing like a kind of observing, if you will, but not like searching where I'm like getting into things. So like,
yeah,
I guess just kind of like a whatever is visible search.
Yeah, there's not much to get into really. And I guess like, how in depth are you looking?
Well, if we're in the room, I'm just gonna look and see what's available, like without moving anything there. And then if I don't find anything, I'd like to kind of start looking outside of the room, but again, not like
the house is kind of one big room at this point. Like you're just kind of searching the house.
Yeah, I'm just searching the house, but again, not moving anything.
Yeah, so kind of in what was probably at one point the bathroom, you do find the remnants of a corded phone. It's not in functioning order anymore, but there is a blinking red light that might mean messages, might mean something else. It's kind of slowly off a little bit of power that's still making its way through the phone. It's still hooked up to the wall somehow, blinking ever so kind of gently type of thing. But yeah, there's not much else to find in the house that's starting to kind of move stuff around. This is kind of the thing that pops out at you.
Okay.
Jumping over to Ancient Query, though, as you're kind of drawing towards where the body was, there's a kind of roughly the same size as you remember the body being, kind of pile of ash, dust, just something incredibly fine and kind of like a mix of black, dark gray, and kind of lighter grays in this pile that it appears like it's been knocked around some. Like it's got like what appear to be like maybe some wheel marks through it that would match like a small gurney or something, or a rescue gurney. There's some boot prints in it of people kind of walking through it. It's still kind of roughly human shaped and kind of that like bumpy oval shape that a body lying on the ground would have turned into hypothetically, but like it's just this like almost flower like level of fine material, like so much so that like the boot marks and kind of other stuff that walked on top of it have left like perfect indentations of their tread.
Okay. By chance, do I have any equipment to take a sample of this?
Sure.
Awesome.
You looking for like a plastic bag, or are you looking for something more high tech?
I was thinking plastic bag.
Yeah.
I would like to take a sample with the plastic bag with the vaguely humanoid shape. Can I kind of guesstimate as to where the head could have been located?
You can.
All right. You said it's kind of lumpy, correct? When you say lumpy, like there might be like bones and stuff underneath the lumps, or is it just kind of
lumpy, more like the way a pile of sand's not going to be flat unless you like perfectly flattened it?
Gotcha. Cool. Are our other agent counterparts still in the room with us?
They are not.
They are not. They've been taken. Okay, cool.
Yeah.
Are there like any kind of indicators as to where their bodies were found?
Yeah, give me a search.
A little chalk outline. 35% success.
There are some outlines on the ground. More disturbingly, though, you can see kind of on the walls where shrapnel that was thrown around the room was blocked by someone's body or something like that. Give me a sand check.
That is a 54% success.
It's grisly. Like you can kind of see the rough outlines of where your comrades were standing or fell or whatnot because of it like blocking chunks that are now like embedded in the wall around it.
That's not fun. With that being said, I would like to take a couple photos of this room just to kind of see if there's anything I can pick up that I might not immediately see now. And then, is there any evidence of the rigging and where the grenades had deployed? Was it all behind the curtain? Where did the grenades come from?
What little remains of the kind of system definitely seems to tie back to the curtain.
Okay.
But again, most of the space has not survived being blown apart by the various explosives that were triggered type of thing. What's your criminology like?
My criminology is a 10%. The reason why I was asking was I wanted to see whether or not the way the setup was, the way that the foundations of like the trap was set up, whether or not that hinted with any kind of known military tactic or any kind of historical tactic that was used by like any kind of army or military or anything else.
And what's your military science again?
My military science is at a 40.
That's enough to know that like tripwires and booby traps and all that stuff has been a part of warfare as long as warfare's existed, give or take. If you want to give me a military science, maybe you can kind of piece together more.
I would like to do that.
All right, let's see it.
27 out of 40% success.
Yeah, so this is a booby trap. Like someone spent the time to rig this space up, and based on what you kind of remember of the space, baited it. Like the fact the lights didn't work, the fact it was dark, someone was very much kind of trying to funnel you and guide your actions into triggering this whole setup by opening the window. It's not a kind of complex trap by any measure, but also like this isn't something just a normal person could whip up. Like this requires maybe a little bit of experience or something like that. Jump into Agent Quick Draw as you're kind of wandering around. What's your demolitions at?
60.
Yeah, that's enough to kind of have that same thought going through your head. This is not amateur work. Like, in fact, to set something like this up, this is not within the wheelhouse of a normal person of the military or something. The idea would be there, but like this requires some craft, some timing, some know-how. Like, yeah, it's easy enough to kind of trigger a grenade with the tripwire, trigger this many grenades.
Yeah.
This person knew what they were doing. They kind of created systems. They kind of linked stuff together. There's probably pulleys embedded in walls now that are now gone, courtesy of the explosions. Like this was a deliberate and real choice. What is your criminology?
50.
Thinking back on the events and the fact that the house smelled weirdly of paint when you came in, you realize that someone went through the effort to open up the drywall of all of the walls and rig this up. This was not some spur of the moment thing. This was maybe not like a full day's worth of work, but like someone put some effort into this.
Yeah, and it was recent because of the paint smell.
Exactly.
Hey, I guess the old man had enough about him to rip out the drywall, set up some pulleys, and then put some drywall back up and repaint the place. So don't know what the fuck happened to him, but he was cognizant enough to do that. And it was recent. Can't smell it now, but we could smell the paint when we first came in.
Am I in range of hearing this? Because I think I stepped out of the room.
You're on the same space still.
Okay. That would explain the paint smell. Huh.
I start kind of popping back into the room and whatnot. So hopefully you can hear me over my mask. But whoever did this also has the specialized knowledge in being able to create these booby traps. Because I wouldn't know what the fuck to do with it or how to do this. And I would like to think that I'm a decent history buff. I've done well in my studies and whatnot. But there is something deep within me that I cannot rule out that the corpse was in fact Edward. I almost want to say that the corpse, I don't even know if the corpse is a corpse. Or if anything else, like that would require further testing because I've got a sample. Unfortunately, trying to figure that out is not exactly my forte.
Here's my concern about that. If we're taking the theory that the walls were, if I heard you correctly, lined with grenades.
Well, not like they were like a pulley system so that when the tripwire went off, it pulled all the pins.
Okay. So again, still, I mean, point stands. We're that this person who was supposed to be 101 years old, I think it was, or some over 100, ripped out the walls, created an elaborate pulley system recently, put the drywall back up, painted everything. And then we found what looked like a mummified corpse, if I remember correctly, in the span of a day, because that paint smelled fresh, if I remember correctly. And I don't know about you guys. How long does paint take to dry? What, like day or two? Some ain't not enough. That being said, I did find something interesting. And I walked them over to the phone that was blinking. And I go, there's what looks like a voicemail on that phone. And maybe we can't get it off of that phone. However, I'm going to take a wild guess that the voicemail system can be accessed by management here. I don't know, maybe, but at least we have something.
As good a lead as any, I guess.
I mean, we got a few leads, but again, it's just face value. The math ain't mathin'.
So conclusion-wise, what's on the table right now? I want to posit that Edward Ackerman remains to be unknown in terms of location. This person has advanced military tactics and expertise, and this setup was done recently. And then we're all in agreement of this. That's. I just want to make sure that we're all on the same page.
Yeah, seems to be the case.
All right, and then voicemail. I forget people still have landlines.
And if this guy's old, landline not too far off.
That's so helpful. Thank you so much for finding that. Yeah, I guess Yelena should have our security tapes as well as maybe the information on to how to get into that voicemail access. Is there anything else that we need to check out here, or are we done for now?
I mean, we should probably rip up carpet, floorboards. I mean, this is the kind of guy that's going to stash stuff in the walls and, I mean, everywhere.
You're right. All right. Cool. So while we're ripping out floorboards, honestly, I would like to probably stay as a group together. You seem to have the most knowledge, so I'd rather you take the lead because I don't want to accidentally tap on a part of the door to see if there's any hollow part and just have a claymore explode in my face.
Sure. Tell me where to go.
Well, once we start ripping up carpet, we can't really put it back. But at the same time, we're in charge of this investigation, so never mind. Fuck it. What part of the room do you want to start in?
Can I just take out my knife and just start cutting carpet up?
Yeah. Give me a search at, what's your criminology?
50.
You have an idea where if someone's going to stash something under the ground, they would go about doing it. So you kind of head to one of the corners of the room and kind of cut into that. First one, no good. Second one, you cut it and kind of peel it back, and yeah, there's a stash box in the corner. Someone's gone through the process of cutting out a chunk of the floorboard and shoving a metal receptacle down into it.
Okay. I'm going to turn the flashlight on my phone and kind of like look around it and make sure that there isn't like a triggering mechanism that it's sitting on. And if I'm pretty certain that there's nothing, I will slowly pull it out.
Yeah. So it is a ammo can. You've seen hundreds of these in your line of work before. It's that military green latch on the front, used by civilians to store all kinds of stuff, ranging from hardware to actual bullets. They're just good storage containers across the board. This one is on the older side, but like 1990s older side kind of thing, not like World War II older side. A little bit of rust on it.
I will go ahead and, slowly crack it open.
So there is one thing inside of it, and it is an old school, like you'd guess just based off quick glance, like Vietnam or an older radio.
I'll pull it out. Not super sure how to work this old one, but I don't know.
You try and move the dial on it.
Yeah, fuck it.
You can't. As you try and move it, you realize the dial is very much stuck. And upon investigating it, you realize someone has taken like a screw and jammed it through the adjusting mechanism, locking it in place.
Well, this seems above my pay grade. Here you go. He'll throw it to Corey.
So, okay. I inspect it. The dial is stuck in one specific spot. Old Vietnam style radio. Is there a power source?
There appears to be a spot for batteries.
What type of batteries does it take?
Looks like it would work on like some older school, like big D batteries or something. That being said, it looks damaged. Like maybe the explosion got to it some. It was in rough shape probably beforehand. Like it's not looking like it's going to work all that well.
I would like to note down the frequency it is stuck at.
6,485 kilohertz.
6,485 kilohertz. Does that sound familiar at all? Does that jog any kind of memories? Is that a historical wavelength by chance?
No, but what do people have for SIGINT?
I have 40.
A whopping 0.
I don't have SIGINT at all.
Hey, give me a roll on SIGINT, Alex.
All right. 41 out of 40 failure.
You're not putting all the pieces together, but what you do know is that is a shortwave frequency in the grand spectrum of radio signals. That might be important, but you're not kind of fully piecing together why that might be important.
Well, I don't see anything special on this one, but question. Do we have walkie-talkies on us by any chance as part of like our ATF equipment?
I mean, you can. It's not going to work for this, though.
Okay, never mind. Say we can make a note of it and try to find another radio that has this frequency and we can tune in while we're here. I don't think it'll work if we're outside of here, or at least not in the area. You got any old radios, Quick Draw?
No, but I can probably get one.
Hey, Quickdraw, is your bag still here? Did they take it?
What is the state of my bag, Charlie? Was it at the hospital with me?
It was not.
I assume that boss picked it up.
Does Homie have D batteries in his kitchen? I kind of want to look.
I mean, if you're going to open up drawers, go ahead. The last time I opened something, we got a surprise, so I'm keeping my hands to myself on this one. But if you want to do that, I'm going to go follow up on this voicemail situation.
Yeah, I want to see if there's any kind of batteries available. If you're heading out to talk to Yelena, see if you can get her to supply some batteries as well.
Yeah, sure.
But otherwise, I'm going to take a quick look through the kitchen to see if there's a junk drawer with some batteries in it.
All right, well then I'll be right back. I'll do like the finger guns as I walk out kind of thing. I will leave the radio here. I'm not taking it with me.
Yeah, makes sense. You are not successful in finding batteries for the radio. Most of the stuff that's been there has been kind of blown apart or it's kind of in pieces. Do you want to kind of keep digging around the space at this point to see if you find anything else?
I have a decent amount of confidence that I'm not about to get home aloned to death anymore. I'm going to cautiously but confidently continue looking around.
Spoken like a wet bandit.
Quick Draw, what are you up to?
I'm going to go back to, just keeping guard.
Sure.
I'm not looking for anything in particular, but I do occasionally look out the window to make sure that we don't have any unsuspecting visitors.
Makes sense. All right, so Quantity, you are off to find someone to give you some help?
Yeah, fine. I guess back to the main office area and talk to our point of contact. At least the one that said that wouldn't help us. I can't remember her name all of a sudden.
Yelena.
See if I can get some intel from her and some batteries, if you will.
Yeah. So you make your way back towards the more common area of the secure part of the facility. And as you're making your way towards the security door, an elderly woman starts waving frantically at you. She's maybe 5'4", looks to be in her late 70s, Caucasian, very gray, kind of walks with a cane. You who, good sir?
I'll stop and kind of wave and say hello, and then try to keep going.
She starts kind of like chasing you, but in that kind of slow motion, old person way. Sir, it's very important I talk to you.
For a second, I kind of just stop and go, and I sigh with like my shoulders going down and go, all right, ma'am, how can I help you?
My name is Laverna Young, and I'm very concerned about Edward.
Edward?
Yes, Edward Ackerman. I assume you're here investigating the accident at his house?
Oh, yeah. Sorry, his name dropped out for a second. We're kind of more focused on finding out what happened in that whole situation. But yeah, sure. Did you know Edward?
Oh, indeed. He was one of the older residents here, so she like gestures by her head kind of shakily. He wasn't as there as I am, unfortunately, but a nice enough man, prone to being a tad quiet.
He said he wasn't all there. I mean, I know, maybe he's just, a little bit on. It happens to the best of us, but out of curiosity, maybe he wasn't all there mentally, but was he mobile? Like, was he relatively physically fit? Was he moving around? Like,
oh God, no. The man was barely capable of holding himself up. He would have been stuck in his house constantly if it hadn't been for Manfred.
Manfred?
Yes. I believe Edward's only real friend here.
Oh, are they another resident here, or was it a visitor?
Oh, yes. But Manfred doesn't live she gestures around, in this part of the facility. He's much younger and capable of taking care of himself still. He lives gestures out past securities. Somewhere out there. He would come and visit Edward every day, and they would play chess and checkers when Edward wasn't listening to that strange radio of his.
Okay. So you said he listened to the radio. Do you remember by any chance what he'd listened to? Was it like a particular type of music or NPR broadcast or something like that?
Oh, he was always very secretive about it. He would announce it was time to go listen to the radio every day, just slightly before noon, almost every day. He would disappear for, about an hour or so, then come back. And we would have been happy if he brought the radio with him, I suppose, but he was always so secretive about it.
At noon every day, okay. Oh, interesting.
Yes, just slightly before. It was the most annoying thing. You could be having a conversation with him, and he would suddenly look at his watch or glance at a clock or something and go, oh, I have to go back. And then just middle of the conversation, get up and go home.
Oh, okay. Well, thank you for that. Yeah, we'll definitely investigate further, and I appreciate the information. If you hear about anything else, here, give me a call, and I'll write down phone number they can reach me at, and just go here. If you hear anything else or anything else comes to mind, shoot me a call, shoot me a message.
You should really talk to some of the other residents here. We all knew Edward at least a little bit. Yes, he kept to himself, but I suppose they're taps her cane for a quick second. Oh, the other fellow, it's been many years since young man, oddly enough, far too young to be here. Edward would occasionally check in on him. Taps her cane again. I think his name was Jan or something like that.
Jan? And do they live here on site, or are they somewhere out?
Oh, indeed. He's one of the special residents here who is here for his own protection. The cognitively declined.
And Edward and Jan would spend time together just like Manfred, or less time, more time?
No. Occasionally Edward would ask if we had seen Jan about, and we never had. He typically stayed in his room, as best I can tell. She gestures at tower. He lived in the tower in one of the secure apartments.
Okay, gotcha. And then again, just because I want to make sure I verify, Manfred isn't on this in this facility. He lives outside the facility, or just in one of the rooms?
He lives somewhere out there. I've never been to his place, although I suspect it's lovely. He's such a wonderful man.
Okay. Do you have the names of any other residents you think I can speak to, just to, get some more information about Edward?
Kind of pauses and thinks for a second. You might want to talk to Wayne Turner. He also, she gestures kind of at the doors. He also gets to live out there. He's man in his 70s. He used to be a detective, I believe, in Chicago before he retired. Never liked Edward or Manfred for some reason. He really hates Horace, though.
Horace?
Oh, yes. Horace Miller, tragic man. His mind has started to go. He lives here with the rest of us. He's constantly looking for his dead wife, Lenore.
Oh.
You didn't hear it from me, but Horace has been stooping Pamela Kelly.
Oh. Is that the gossip I'm hearing?
It's one of the many things that happens here that people think go unnoticed, but I keep track of these things.
All right, well, hey, mum's the word for me. I didn't hear anything. Your secret is safe with me, but thank you for keeping an attentive eye around here. Much appreciated.
Well, I do hope you find out what happened to Edward. He was a war hero, you know that?
I had heard, yeah. I'm still kind of piecing together some of his story, but I had heard some things. Yeah, I mean, we're going to do our best. Obviously, this is super tragic, but we're going to work hard and do our best to figure out what happened.
If you can find Manfred, he can tell you all about it. We didn't even know Edward's history until Manfred started telling us all about it. Oh, he loved to talk about Edward. They were such good friends.
Well, it's good. It's nice that he had someone to talk to even during his last days and all that. Like, it's always good.
Yes, it does get quite lonely here. Actually pauses for a second, looks at you. Oh, I'm sorry. Were we talking about something?
No, we were just kind of talking about the weather. It's nice. I hope you're enjoying yourself today.
Yes, it kind of looks around confused and kind of a little starry-eyed and kind of like with a bit of a far-off stare. Yes, it is quite lovely out here. Kind of turns to look at you. Oh, are you here to look into what happened at Edward's place?
Yeah. I'm just kind of investigating. You know, it's too early to have a definitive answer, but we're looking into it and we'll do our best.
Truly is tragic what happened. Such a terrible way to go. I do hope Manfred's okay. That was Edward's best friend in the world. Two were basically inseparable, and kind of as she starts to ramble, having essentially the same conversation you had with you already, but like with a slightly different spin on it. One of the nurses kind of wanders over and kind of like starts to guide her away, and she's like, "It's okay, Laverne. We'll go and we'll go sit in the sun for a little while," type of thing. She kind of looks at you and smiles sheepishly a little bit.
Well, it was nice to meet you, and thank you very much. I had a wonderful conversation.
Yes, thank you. And she kind of like, she's holding the piece of paper you gave her with your number on it. And was I supposed to do something with this?
Yeah, if you think of anyone else you think I should speak to about in regards to Edward, just send me a message.
Oh, of course. I would love to help getting to the bottom of this whole tragedy with Edward. And kind of the nurse, not forcibly, but very kind of directively starts to guide her towards a bench far away from you at this point, kind of takes the paper and puts it in a pocket, and she kind of like looks confused for a second, then kind of nullifies out again like you saw earlier. She kind of turns around and again like kind of shrugs at you a little bit.
And then I'm just gonna kind of start walking again towards the main office area now that she's
Yeah, as you kind of get close to the exit, a younger kind of mid to late 20s man runs up to you dressed in kind of scrubs. Excuse me, agent, officer, what are we supposed to call you?
Officer's fine. Who are you?
Oh, my apologies, Xentan. Our nurse, Carlito Ortega. I saw you talk to one of our residents there. I've been asked to ask you not to do that unsupervised with the high risk patients, with the higher security patients here. They can get a little bit excitable.
Okay, sure. I mean, she walked up to me and I was being courteous. Sure.
No.
Okay.
I understand completely. I know you were just trying to do your job, and she came up to you and talked to you. We've learned the hard way that surprise stimuli can cause a variety of reactions here, and with the whole Mr. Ackerman situation. There's a lot going on right now as people in a tizzy. If you want to talk to someone, just let one of the nurses here know so we can just kind of be there. And, well, if they start to kind of loop back on themselves like that, we maybe can help you out. Yeah, sorry. Again, not trying to do your job, just we try and maintain a certain amount of calm in this area because the last thing we need is a bunch of residents kind of accidentally hurting themselves in a confusion or an excited episode.
Yeah, sure. Fine. Whatever.
Apologetically kind of like does the hands up thing, like, again, sorry. I'm looking after the residents here, kind of inhales and exhales slowly. Oh, you probably think I'm a jackass, don't you?
No, I'm just, I understand the protocol, but I'm kind of just, unless you've got them all tagged, I really don't know who to talk to and who's high risk and who's not. So,
we do.
Oh, well, I didn't notice that, but
all the high security residents have a wristband, orange, on their left hand, kind of gestures at the gate. If they try and go through that without it kind of being turned off, an alarm goes off.
Okay. Well, then, yeah, I will do my best.
Much appreciated. If there's anything we can do to help, let us know. But
I just kind of nod and go, okay.
I suspect you're trying to get out now.
I actually am trying to work my way back to the front office.
You'll need a security code to get from this section into the rest of the facility. Kind of goes over to the gate, punches in a 4-digit number, and doors open up. There you go.
Much appreciated. Thank you.
And it pauses. I can't give it to you, but if you ask security for the kind of like guest code, they should be able to hook you up with that. They'll give you a piece of paper with it on. It's the same number to get in and out. Again, it's just to kind of keep people that shouldn't be wandering out or shouldn't be wandering in out type of situations, mostly to keep people in so they can't hurt themselves.
Well, I'll definitely ask. Appreciate it.
He kind of runs back off to some patients or something like that. And you are back in the very stylish is not the right word, but very kind of decorated lobby of this Tower of the Emerald Estates. You go over to the main desk at that point?
Yeah.
Yeah, so you approach, someone kind of looks at you. Can I help you, sir?
Yeah, I need a couple things. Number one, you guys keep visitors logs, I'm assuming, right?
We do.
All right. I need to see visitors logs from the last, I would say, 4 days, maybe between, 4 days.
The person kind of looks at you confused. Sir, that's not information we just kind of give out to people.
And I will flash my ATF badge and go, well, I'm in the middle of an investigation, and it is part of my investigation, so you can either help me or I can get a warrant, and it'll get messy.
Oh, shit, you're here about the Ackerman place. Okay, yeah. The person types a couple of things on a computer. You're gonna want to talk to security. Sorry, I can't do much to help you here. Hang on, let me see if I can get someone for you to talk to.
Sounds good. And while you're working on that, question about your phone systems. I'm assuming that you guys have access to call logs that people here in the home get, and maybe perhaps access to voicemail.
We do.
Okay. I'm going to need access to call logs and a voicemail to the Ackerman place.
Again, not something I can provide for you. Security will have to help you out with that, and kind of picks up the phone, speaks into it, and the kind of speaker system goes off. Aiden DeMoss, can you please report to the front desk? We have a guest here for you.
Oh, much appreciated. But this third one you might be able to help me with. Got any batteries?
They kind of look at you confused and point towards what looks like a little gift store. I think there's like some AA and AAAs in there.
Fair enough. And I'll go grab some off the... Oh, which ones? I actually didn't ask. What did the radio take? Was it D?
Yeah, those are nowhere near big enough.
Okay. Shit. You got any D batteries back there? I mean, I'll give you some cash if that's what you want. I just need some D batteries.
Raises an eyebrow. The hell uses D batteries anymore, if you don't mind me asking?
Part of the investigation. Trust me, I know it's a weird request. I just need some D batteries, and if you got them, I would really appreciate it.
You forget to charge your mag light before you came here or something?
Not a mag light.
Maybe Aiden will have something like that. Not really a size of battery most people use these days.
Yeah, I figured as much, but it was worth a shot. Appreciate it, though.
And shrugs at this. Aiden will be here in a minute or two once he gets down. I gestures at one of the numerous, very tackly kind of floral decorated chairs in the lobby. You can take a seat and wait for him if you'd like. You can stand here. If you want to go outside and get some air, I know I sure as hell like it after being in here for too long. I can tell him you went out there and he can come find you.
Yeah, I'll just have a seat. It's all good. And I'll just walk over and grab a seat.
2 minutes pass, and a middle-aged kind of 6'2", just slab of a man, just in impeccable shape, wanders into the lobby. He's dressed in security uniform, kind of looks at you, kind of looks around, spots you, and goes, "I'm guessing you're the one looking for me?"
That would be I.
Extends a hand. Aiden Dumas, chief of security here. I'm guessing this is about the investigation?
Yep, that is exactly it. And a few things I need. If you can assist me with that, that would be greatly appreciated.
Well, I'm already working on Yelena's request for all the security footage. With a nice little flash drive up and running for you. I don't think we're going to find much. There hasn't really been a lot of activity lately.
Well, not just security footage. I need a couple more things from you. And I start kind of going through my little notepad here. I need, number one, visitor logs for the last 4 days, particularly if there's any sign-ins, people going over to see Ackerman, but best just to give me the entire list of visitor logs, number one. Number two, believe it or not, looks like Ackerman had a voicemail, so I'm going to need some phone logs and access to the voicemail for his place. And I'll say call logs, give me the last 4 days as well.
Yeah, I started pulling all that information for you. Figured that might be something you'd want. Yeah, I can get any voice recordings that are in the system still for you. I suspect if it's a message that got left, it was probably staff here leaving him a message about missing medication or something like that. That's what most of them are typically.
All right, cool. Well, glad this was easy. And how soon can I expect those?
I have hems and haws for a second. Give us about an hour or so. We started pulling this together, when the explosion happened. We just have to finalize stuff.
Fair enough.
Pulls you aside a little bit to kind of like, you're still in the lobby, kind of off to a little corner of it or something like that. Between you and me, like, this is weird, right?
Oh, 100%. But, we have to do our due diligence. That's part of the job.
I mean, yeah, like, air tanks explode, and every once in a while, like, it's a whole hazard. It's with them falling over and knocking the top off and then kind of going all balloony through a space. I haven't heard of one exploding in a while.
I mean, it happens. Just because it's rare doesn't mean the chance is zero,
No, I get it.
But either way, we got to make sure we do our due diligence. It's part of the job. So that being said, out of curiosity, you wouldn't happen to have any D batteries on you, would you?
I can go check. That's not really a size we keep around all that often. Most of our stuff's just rechargeable these days.
Yeah, I mean, kind of old school, but just out of curiosity, if you happen to have some, I would greatly appreciate it. It would save me a trip to the store.
And I can see what we got. Kind of pauses for a second. Maybe I'm overreaching. We have had a couple security alerts in the last couple of days. Would you like kind of information we have around those as well?
Sure.
Nothing out of the ordinary. Some visitor for someone in the high risk area kind of set off the alarm trying to get out. It typed in the code wrong. Oh, speaking of that, kind of just in his pocket, pulls out a little piece of paper. This is the guest code you can use to get in and out for the next 24 hours. It changes on the day. Get a new code, just stop by the front desk and they give you a new one. You'll be in the system to receive it.
Cool. Sounds good. Appreciate that.
Do try and use it. When you type in the code wrong, it sets the whole thing off and We have to send people out and reset it, and upsets the residents, and it's all loud and scary for them, I guess.
Yeah, no, I'll try my best not to set it off. I know, I was talking to one of your staff earlier about being mindful about all this extra stimuli, and I respect it. It's understandable.
Yeah, the high risk, high security, whatever you want to call it, area is an interesting one. Have you spent a lot of time out there yet?
Brief, not a lot, just kind of walking back and forth right now, doing a little bit of investigating here and there. Like I said, it's not a lot. So I would say maybe a day and some change. So
most of the residents are harmless for the most part. They're forgetful or forget where they are or kind of lose focus mid-sentence or something. Some of them, though, really are in high security for their own protection. They're easy to scare. They're prone to violent outbreaks. It's absolutely tragic, but at the same time, do be careful who you talk to. You'd be surprised the number of junior guards we have here that think they're having a lovely conversation with a nice old grandmother that suddenly get their legs stabbed. Not deep, admittedly, but still stabbed with a knitting needle.
Yeah, I will definitely keep that in mind. Getting stabbed is on the list of things I'd least like to have happen to me right now.
Did you get the sundown warning?
No, but go on.
We jokingly call it the witching hour around here, but a lot of cognitive issues get exacerbated the later in the day it gets, and tend to have more problems happen around sundown. Nights can be a little creepy around here too.
Do you generally have a facility on lockdown during sundown time, or do you still allow visitors during that time?
I mean, they're not prisoners or anything. We do discourage unnecessary visits to anyone in the high risk area unless they're friends or family or whatnot. But yeah, again, this isn't a prison or anything. That people are free to come and go with their loved ones as they see fit. Just typically tend to warn visitors like yourself that the high security area can be an interesting place when the lights go down.
Good to know.
Oh, have you talked to the doc yet?
I seem to be learning more and more as I continue to speak to you guys, but no.
Yeah, you probably want to talk to him. Dr. Edelman is our on-site doctor. He might know more, but he can tell you more about what was up with Ackerman, I guess.
You said that name was Dr. Edelman?
Yep, Dr. Edelman. He's our on-site geriatrician. Kind of like bites his lip for a second. He's a bit of a character, if you ask me, but bit of an unnatural interest in some of the patients we have here. But he's been here for a bit, so.
Well, I'll take a look.
Don't shake hands with him.
Oh, okay.
He's got the fish hand.
Fish hand? I feel like I'm going to regret asking this, but fish hand?
Ever shaken a man's hand and then pulled your hand away wet?
He's got moist hands.
Moist doesn't begin to describe it. The man is the sweatiest man I've ever met. Don't shake his hand. You'll be grossed out for days.
All right.
Well, if that's it, I'll put I'll make the announcement on the PA that we're ready to come pick up your package when it's ready for you. Give us a few hours. Like I said, if you want to avoid the excitement, be out of here by sundown. But also, hey, you're the federal investigators, so I just work security here. But yeah, I'm sure someone already mentioned this in some way, shape, or form. I think I saw Dustin a little earlier, kind of walking around. We'd really like to get this closed and buttoned up as fast as possible. I get it. You got a job to do, et cetera, et cetera. The faster things get back to normal around here, the faster things get back to normal around here, if you get my drift.
No, understandable. I mean, anytime there's an interruption from the norm, like I said, we'll do our best. And yeah, as soon as you can get the things over to me, we'll focus. I'm going to check my watch just to see what time it is. So I'm, being aware, because I want to make sure that we do get out at a reasonable time. But at the same time, is it close to noon? Just so I can see if
yeah.
How close is it to noon?
It's noonish at this point. You've been kind of poking around the blown up house for a little while. Like, you've spent some time here.
Okay. shit. I was really hoping to get battery so we could listen in at noon, but if it's already past noon, that's okay. All right. So yes, I will message the group and go, hey, got a couple leads. Do you guys want me to head over to you, or do you guys want to come meet me? I'm waiting for some stuff from the security office, so it might be easy if you guys come talk to me. Message send.
What do you want to do, Big Ed?
Did you just call me Big Head?
I sure did.
Okay, cool. That's a first.
Sorry, are you sensitive or something?
No, it's not that. It's just that I'm just experiencing a very unique moment in my life right now, because I have never... Is my head really that big?
God, okay. No, you're fine.
Because that was just completely out of the nowhere, and you're just about to give me a complex. What did the text just say? I still have gloves and things on. I'm not about to...
He's got some leads, and he wants to know if he should meet up with us or if we want to meet up with him or what's going on.
Okay, cool. Yeah, let's meet up. Let's meet up. Query takes off her gloves and then her masks and starts heading out. She is trying to covertly use her phone's camera feature to see whether or not her head really is that big.
Oh no. Quick Draw will send a text back to Quantity to have him head back.
On behalf of all of us at Negative Modifier, thank you for listening, and we do hope you enjoyed this episode. If you are not already a subscriber, please consider becoming one, partially so you do not miss our next episode, but mostly because it helps new listeners find us. In addition to that, if you liked the episode, please consider clicking the thumbs up button below. If you'd like to further support the show, please consider joining us on Discord or becoming a Patreon patron.